Alright, so let's continue. Now before we deploy the application, there is something that we have to fix. So while playing around with the device manager, I noticed that on smaller smartphones, the design is not consistent. As you can see, the add to cart button just looks a bit odd. And the reason is pretty obvious, it's just that if the price has 2 digits after the decimal, then it just leaves enough space for the add to cart button to take the entire required width. And that's the reason why we have something like this. So in order to fix this, it's pretty simple. I guess it should be pretty simple. Let's head back, and within the book item component, in the right stack, there it is, where we have the price and there we have the button. So we have set the button padding on the X. Well, I think it should be actually because of the margin on the right. That's like the one that we have over here. So if we reduce that, it leaves a bit more space for the button to take in the space for its required width. And we can actually pass down a responsive value over here. But now that I think of it, I have a better idea, as in for the button. So this thing, it's fine as of like the text button, it's perfectly fine. But I would say having an icon button would look a bit more better. And for this, let's actually take a look at the documentation. Over here, if we look something for shopping cart, and I think actually it's the first one. Plus I think this would be like, it's pretty descriptive, it's intuitive, as in the button will make the item like it will allow the item to be added to the cart. So let's actually use a button instead of a text button, and for that we first need to import it. So over here you can again pause the video and enter the same icon. I'm gonna give it a different name, like add to cart icon, and let's import the icon button. Over here, instead of the button, let's go with an icon button, and instead of the text, let's go with this thing. And everything else except the padding on the X, we don't need that. We don't need any border radius because icon button is circle in itself. And let's see. So that doesn't look good, I guess. Let's reduce the size of the icon by passing in font size, and let's set it to be of small. Well, that's a bit better, but still I would say what about if we reduce the size of the icon button? Let's set it to be of small from medium, which is default. That doesn't make any difference, it's still ugly. I think it's more on the part of the color choice that we have, which is not making this button stand out. So I would say over here on the SX for the icon button, let's set the background color to be of completely black. Let's go with that. Obviously we need to change the icon color, for which we can use the color. Let's see. I think that's actually okay. That's not cool. So when we hover on it, it's changing the colors. Pretty obvious because we are just changing it for one state. So we can do it as in the quick way of adding in the important tag, which will make it to be this color regardless. It will not let any other styling to override it. And I think that's looking, actually it's looking good. I would go with that. Let's actually do one thing. What if we push the entire right stack a bit more upward? Can we do that? Of course we can. Over here we have this top to be of 10. How about 15? How about 20? I think that's looking perfect. That's actually looking good. And on the price that we have, let's actually set the margin on the right to be of 3. Over here, top to be of 25. I think that's looking good. Let's actually view it on small devices, particularly for the SC, as that's when we were facing that thing. So that's actually looking cool. There's actually one other thing. I can see the jitter. As you can see, the reason is obvious. It's just that the icon button is a bit like it has more height compared to the quantity manager, and that's why we have this sorry about my dry throat. That's why we have the jitter effect. So in order to fix this, we can set a fixed height for the stack containing the price and the add to cart button. So over here, let's set the height to be of, how about 40 pixels? Let's go with that. I think that's too much. 38, I believe. And it's gone. Beautiful. And let's actually see over here. I think it looks perfect. So this completes the small the UI fix that we had to do. All right, I need to quickly charge my laptop. Anyway, so this completes this one, and in the next part, let's finally deploy this application and make it live. All right, thank you for watching.